Good evening, fans, and welcome to another CityTV sports presentation. I'm Rufus Washington, and we're here at Courtney Gymnasium, home of the Hawthorne Cougars for tonight's Ocean League matchup between the Hawthorne Cougars and the Normans of Beverly Hills. I'm joined by McCall Hall, and McCall, the Cougars are looking to get back on the winning track after a tough outing on Wednesday night against Santa Monica.
Yeah, they definitely are looking to get back on the right track, but it's going to be tough going up against a Beverly Hills team that is clearly outsized and out-talented. But the key for Beverly Hills tonight is to play discipline. When you're going up against a team that's not quite on your level, you have to stay disciplined and not play down to their level. If they can do that tonight, I believe Beverly Hills will walk out of here with a win.
And judging from the size when we saw Beverly Hills come out, one of the things that the Cougars have struggled with all season, looks like it'll be a problem again tonight, will be the size of the Normans.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we're looking at a Beverly Hills team that's got 17 players on the roster. 15 of those players are over 6 feet. So that alone is going to be very tough for Hawthorne. But here's the deal. If Hawthorne can get out there and run and get that transition going, they might be able to tire out a bigger and maybe slower Beverly Hills team. But I don't know. Beverly Hills is pretty tough.
Well, I know Coach David Jello Gray probably has a trick or two up his sleeve, and Sebastian has an inside look at this Hawthorne Cougar teams and what you can expect from them tonight.
Yeah, Hawthorne is a team that comes out to play hard every night. That's what you can expect. Hard basketball from them. They might come up a little short on the bench side with players, but they have to make that up tonight because you're talking about a Beverly Hills team who's really good. So Hawthorne, they're going to need some help. Most of the offense is going to come from Christian Brown. We know that, but he's going to need some help from Darius Bibbins, Carlos Jacobo, and a few of those other Cougars to step up.
Right. And we saw the Cougars the other night, and of course they featured, because they only have a few players, more of a zone defense rather than man-to-man.
Yeah, definitely. That zone defense has got to pay dividends for them tonight. You got to make sure you get to the shooters because they're going to be very thin in the inside against this Beverly Hills team. You see guys on the roster, 6'7", 6'5". So it's a tall bunch over there, so they have to make sure they play that zone.
All right. And again, McCall, how do you assess what Beverly Hills, I mean, they're a defending league champion.
Yeah, they are.
And they're coming back. And Coach said, we aren't rebuilding. We're expecting to continue what we started last year.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had an opportunity to sit down with Coach Turner before the game, and he said, look, it's not about rebuilding. It's about continuing that good progression. And I really think that they're able to do that with the transfer that they have coming in and with that height. And the other thing is they can score in bunches. They've had a couple of quarters this season where they've scored 30-plus points. So they know how to score in bunches. They know how to use their size. They're going to keep progressing as long as they stay disciplined, and that's the key tonight.
All right. And also joining us, Karen Bright. And Karen had a chance to also get a look at this Beverly Hills Normans team. What's your impression of them, Karen?
Well, as you can see, the cards are a little bit stacked against Hawthorne tonight. However, Beverly Hills has dropped 6 games so far this season. They're a team that's still developing. They do have the transfers, the Daniels brothers, and with Ron Artest III, so that gives them a big boost. But Coach Turner said that they are still learning the system, still figuring out their chemistry, so they do need to focus to make sure that their game is on tonight against the Cougars.
Any possibility the Cougars could sneak one then against this team?
It's going to be a really tall order, but the way they played Wednesday night, I'm not going to say anything's off the card for tonight.
All right, so there you have it, fans. Here from Courtney Gymnasium, we're going to see the Cougars in action tonight as they take on the Normans of Beverly Hills in this Ocean League matchup. Stay right where you are. We'll be back with live action in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship UConn Huskies basketball team, and you're losing your Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow-away jumper, good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
All right, we're ready for the pregame tip, and the official is Bill Dickerson. tip controlled by the Normans of Beverly Hills. We'll get their lineup set for you in just a moment, as there were no clear introductions. And that's the first turnover of the game. Goes against the Normans on a 3-second violation.
Clearly the Normans are trying to come out aggressive already.
Hawthorne returns the favor with a turnover of their own. Game a little sloppy here in the early going. Rebound controlled by Christian Brown. McCall, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Now
Great.
I can hear you better.
Yes, sir. All right.
Lost
Just a few technical difficulties. Getting them worked out, though. First Cougar shot goes up. Doesn't come down. And the Normans running in the other way. Player control foul is going to be called against the Beverly Hills Norman player who attacked the basket and ran over a couple of Cougars.
We have more players on the ground than standing up.
It looks like that foul was called against number 10 for Beverly Hills, and that's Fidel Quiralte. Carlos Jacobo bringing it up, being pushed along the sideline. Nice behind the back pass. Can't get the shot to go, but there's going to be another foul call against Beverly Hills. This one's going to go against number 13, and that's one of the Daniels brothers. That's Mason Daniels.
Twin brothers at that. I wonder which one's over.
So at the line shooting is number 20 for the Cougars, and they've had a couple of lineup changes, but number 20 is Learis White. We saw him with some action the other night. White misses a pair.
I got to give the Cougars credit. You know, early on, they're taking it inside. You have to do that with teams that are a little bit bigger than you. Maybe you can get them in foul trouble. Maybe get some of their stars out of the game early. Got to give the Cougars credit early on for taking it inside.
Well, those are the kind of opportunities that you'll want to see them take advantage of. And this is a deep Beverly Hills team, by the way. Not only are they tall, McCall, but they've got 17 guys, and Coach said that 10 of them will play. Of course, one of the ones we're waiting to see is Ron Artest III, in addition to the Daniel brothers, who you mentioned earlier. So that foul goes against number 4, Denzel Holt.
Denzel Holt, while he's not one of their or talked about players this season, he is a very big part of their team, being a part of that Southern Section Championship team last year. You need that kind of senior leadership. So interested to see what he's going to do tonight.
Backcourt violation against the Cougars on that play, gives it over to Hawthorne. Cougars now with a couple of turnovers here in the early going. We've only played about 2 minutes, fans. Shot put up by Denzel Holt, and he was fouled on the play. And give that foul to Learis White.
Very impressed by the passing of their big men. It's one thing to be big, but it's another thing if you can be big and pass.
So Denzel Holt gets the scoring started with a free throw for both teams. Up to then, we've been scoreless. Knocks down a pair. And so, with 2 minutes gone by, Beverly Hills has a commanding 2-0 lead. And there he is, Christian Brown attacking the basket, as you'll see him do so many times tonight, McCall. He is the engine of this team.
Yeah, it sounds like the offense is really going to have to run through Christian Brown, and he's got to remain aggressive tonight. Very aggressive take to the basket. He's going to need a lot more of those.
Right. Looking away and missed that basket.
Basket by Maddox Daniels, one of the Daniels twins.
Now you got another Cougar turnover. That's 3 here in the early going. We get a timeout taken by, looks like the Hawthorne Cougars and head coach David Jello Gray. It's going to be a 30.
It looks like Coach Turner made a really good point to make some adjustments. You know, they were allowing them to bring the ball up the court, but that play just now was a forced turnover. They seemed to press them a little bit more before they could even get it past half court. So it seems like Coach Turner is getting the message across to his team. We got to step up and give these guys a little bit of pressure.
Of course, Coach Turner had a stellar career at USC in his own right, so he knows big-time basketball when he sees it. And, of course, last year their star Chance Comanche, who's now over at Arizona, and his alma mater enjoying a little South Bay home cooking because they got Chemezi up at USC, and wow, you know, what a story. Great freshman year so far for Chemezi Metu.
Yeah, USC is looking great. It's great that they're getting local talent, local products, and a lot of guys out of the South Bay. Big-time three-point basket by Maddox Daniels.
Is that right? Wow, so Maddox Daniels here in the early going with 8 points of his own, and now another turnover. By my count, so far 4 here in the early going, and that's contributed to this 10-2 deficit that the Cougars have at this point with just a little under 3 minutes gone by. Foul on the play is going to be called against Maddox Daniels, as Christian Brown doing what he does so very well, McCall, attacking.
Absolutely.
And he's sometimes going in, as you'll see on the replay, against the trees, but he shows no fear at all and doesn't worry about the fact that the shot's going to be blocked because he believes, hey, I'm going to draw some contact on this.
And see, that's what you have to do. That's exactly what you have to do in a game like this. He knows what he's up against. He knows that they have trees, but you got to take it in there. You got to take it in there to chop down the trees. Knocking down his free throws will help a whole lot.
And Cougars with 3 points, the opportunity for a 4th point here. All of them here in the early going have come courtesy of Christian Brown. So it's Beverly Hills 10, Christian Brown 4.
Hopefully they can get some of their other guys involved in the offense.
Now what's this defensive set that the Cougars are showing right now, McCall?
Looks like they're showing a 2-3. The key with the 2-3 set, though, if the offense spreads the floor, you've got to make sure you transition and move out. It's all about shifting when you're playing a zone. The Cougars really need to focus on that when they get back down on defense.
And Maddox Daniels scores a 3-pointer there. Plenty of time left on the shot clock, approaching 15 seconds, so no need to rush it. Wow, and Christian Brown got in a bit of trouble, went to try to make up for it. You see that happen so many times. Guy turns it over, wants to make up for it, instead commits a foul.
Hopefully he can limit that. As you know, with Christian Brown being such a key part of their offense, he's really got to make sure that he's in the game and being careful not to cost himself any playing time. I'm sure Coach Jello wants him on the floor for a pretty good chunk tonight.
Okay, well, the board shows 4 and 3. By my count, it's actually 3 and 2, but we'll check that at halftime. Scores 13-4, though. Right now, still favor of Beverly Hills. That shot put up and
Beautiful
in
shot.
by Max Walder.
Now, Max Walder, while he's not a starter, he is a 4-year letterman for Beverly Hills, so expect him to hit big shots. He's been battle-tested.
Foul's going to go against Beverly Hills, and that's going to be on Walder, who we just called, trying to defend against Christian Brown.
Christian Brown doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Exactly what he's supposed to do. Being aggressive on the offensive end, drawing fouls. If you can't beat him, get him out of the game early. Now it looks like Beverly Hills is also playing a 2-3 zone, and Ron Artest Jr. is now in the game covering the middle. Giving up that
Jacobo with the offensive rebound. Attacks the basket. Jacobo puts up a second shot. Jacobo not known to shoot. If you saw him take those 2 shots, you should enjoy it because you may not see him take another one. Now we're going to have a foul called on the play. And that's only because Coles does everything else. And he's one of those type of rare basketball players. He doesn't mind not shooting.
Absolutely.
And I could tell from that possession that the coach basically told him, I want you to shoot more, because on Wednesday night he was extremely reluctant to shoot.
Well, you always need a player like that on your team, somebody who's willing to give up their body and do the little things to help the team win. But like as you said, if the coach is asking you to step up a little bit and start to spread that offense around, you got to answer the call.
And that's Ron Artest with the free throw, makes one, misses one. Rebound comes down to the Cougars. Let's see, you're going to get a foul. This may go against Artest. It's going to be one of the 2 players that's here, either 11, who's Maddox Daniels. Let's see how the official rules. Let's see who he gives it to, because it's going to be big. The indications seem to be like he showed 4. I'm going to go with it for the moment. If he did, that was against Denzel Holt, and that would be his side. Christian Brown that time trying to do just a little bit too much. Nice basket put up and in by Ron Artest III. And McCall, if you look at him in the face, you can see that he's an Artest.
There is no doubt about it. Clearly Ron Artest's son. If I didn't know any better, I'd think that he gave birth to him himself.
Right. And that foul looks like it's going to go against Artest. Score the basket for Learis White, and he goes to the line for the and 1.
Now, if you guys watch that replay, it's a foul that wasn't very convincing. He didn't put a whole lot of body on him, but enough to get that foul. Ron Artest Jr. is fairly new to the game, so those are things he's going to have to focus on, making sure that if you're going to foul him right.
And he may. Okay, they give that foul to number 3. That's Max Walder, but it sends Christian Brown to the line to shoot 2.
Christian Brown has not taken 1 jump shot, maybe 1, but I don't recall seeing it. So very impressed by the fact that he is being extremely aggressive tonight.
He's definitely a slasher and attacker. While misses his first free throw of the night, that foul's going to go against Jacobo on the play. So it'll be out of bounds to the Normans. 2 ticks over 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. 18-7 is our score. And of course, that's Beverly Hills with the 18. Looking to make it 21 from distance, doesn't go. But on the follow, Denzel Holt scores his 4th point of the game.
And that shot by Maddox Daniels is one of those heat checks. He has to see where he's at right now.
Right.
See if I can make it from deep. because that was NBA range. So both Daniels twins are now on the bench. Coach is trying to get him a little bit of rest.
Matt Reskin, who he mentioned, just came on. Wow. And you're going to have a foul call there. And from the reaction, looks like it's going to go against Devin Brown. And it does. There's a replay call. And playing good around the rim is Ron Artest III, and he's going to go to the line to shoot a pair.
He's definitely using his size to his advantage, and he's clearly keeping his hands up because you got to give Hawthorne some credit, Rufus. They're being as aggressive as they can with the height disadvantage. They are actively pursuing the glass, but you know you can't teach height, and sometimes it's hard to beat it out.
Ball stays with the Normans. There's a real tight quarters over here on the sideline. That shot no good. Wow. It's a good thing Beverly Hills has 17 players.
Yeah.
Because they're picking up fouls with regularity, and if that foul is on Walter, as it appears, that's his third, and it also puts them in the Cougars in the 1-and-1, and going to the line to shoot the free throw is going to be Derek Banks.
This is a great position for the Cougars to be in. If you can get in that 1-and-1 opportunity and hit your free throws, you can keep this interesting.
Wow, just out-hustled on that. Banks did not make the effort to get to the ball.
Nice pass by Kevin Chu into Ron Artest Jr. Rufus, Kevin Chu is actually 5'9". He's one of 2 players under 6 feet for the Normans, but he's making his impact known. Nice dime.
And let's see, another foul on the play.
Another foul on the play. Aggressive defense. Calling the hands. Let's watch it on the replay.
Yeah, well, you can definitely see it. That was number 13 on the push-off, and that's Mason Daniels. Converting the first free throw. Well, now that's 10-team foul, so now they're in the double bonus, and they'll be in the double bonus the rest of the half.
See, this is where Coach Jello really needs to hammer into his guys. Let's take it in on every possession. No jump shots allowed. Get to the line.
Well, they're down by a bunch here in the first quarter at 23-9, with a chance to turn their fortunes around.
Beautiful crossover by Devin Brown of Hawthorne. Beautiful crossover.
Shot clock off with 17 seconds. Clock running left here in the first quarter. Whoa.
Definitely a missed call by the refs there.
Yeah. The left is short. A lot of hands in there. Doesn't go. And Coach Wright Coach David Jello Gray has a right to be upset because there was a foul on that play against his guy.
Definitely was a play, but you know what they used to say? The ball don't lie.
Right.
So when you miss a call like that and get to go on the offensive end, if it doesn't go in, you know why.
Well, Coach Gray's philosophy is real simple. I need every break I can, man. Don't help those guys, help me. Yeah. So at the end of one quarter here at Cal Courtney Gymnasium, our score, the visitors, the Normans of Beverly Hills, 23, and our own Hawthorne Cougars, 9. All right, I'm sorry. I'm hearing Karen. Let's go over to Karen Bright.
Yeah, what's going on, Karen?
Guys, despite the deficit on the scoreboard, the vibe on the Cougars sideline is pretty positive. Coach Jello is just urging his guys to keep passing to make it easier for themselves and not try to take on Beverly Hills one-on-one. Back to you.
Thank you, Karen, and it's really not one-on-one. So far here, they have played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They played 10 guys in the first quarter, and it's only an 8-minute quarter. 10 guys from Beverly Hills got on the floor, and we get a good look of our test right in front of us as we were talking about.
I thought it was Ron Artest Sr. for a second. I had to do a double take.
Well, only because he's a couple of pounds short of what his dad is.
He'll fill out.
And that's going to be a turnover. And they'll inbound the ball
Devin Brown
at the baseline.
Trying to encourage his teammates to stay focused coming up into this quarter. Really vocal.
And again, the key, McCall, and I know that it's 6 turnovers unofficially, probably more than that, as he attacks the basket and is fouled by, let's see, what do we got? Okay. Not quite sure what happened there, but there was obviously no foul call, but there was a stoppage of action by the referee. As I mentioned, the referee for tonight's contest is Bill Dickerson, and working with Mr. Dickerson is Keith Goldsmith. You know, it's good, McCall, when players get the message you give them. And we see here where you saw, again, Carlos Jacobo attacking the basket on that replay. Couldn't get it to go. Not able to control the ball was one of the Daniels brothers. Have to look at the program. I at least can tell them. I just don't know which one's which by number yet. But that was 13, Mason Daniels.
Mason's having a quieter night. I'm sure that they kind of swap off who's going to dominate.
That's the freshman, Kevin Cho, number 31 from Beverly Hills, that's out on the floor now. A near turnover for more shots put up by Jacobo, and we got a foul on the play and a stoppage of action.
Now that was the best rebound I've seen from Ron Artest Jr. all night. You can tell he's starting to get comfortable out there and really getting aggressive on the boards and really going for the rebound. Getting off the ground, getting those hops.
You know, and for a player, and he's a junior, so he has a year, and man, I mean, what a luxury it is to have a guy as your head coach like Jarvis Turner, a guy who understands post play, who's got the size and practice to bang against you to get you used to that.
That's the key. Your reps in practice, they'll transfer it over into the game.
Jacobo that time a little bit too unselfish as he attempted to hit Christian Brown on the break, and yet another turnover.
You can't blame him. You can't blame him. That's the kind of guy he is. He wants to get his teammates involved. But to your point earlier, you got to spread the offense around. If you have a shot, you got to take the shot tonight. Now it looks like the Cougars are going to remain in this 2-3 defense.
Nice follow basket put in by Harsuli.
Mason Daniels. I could be wrong.
Well, if the board is to be believed, and if there's a number 10 on the floor, looks like they gave it to number 10. But as I said, if the board is to be believed.
Kobo knocking down that free throw. Great job by Holt getting his offense set, getting everybody set up for their progression.
That shot put up doesn't go. And on that last Hawthorne, and now we got a holding call. And again, looks like
it's going on number 10. Those are always tough fouls to swallow because you're trying to be aggressive, you're trying to go for the ball, you're trying to get the jump ball, and then you get the foul called against you. That's a hard one to swallow.
Now on that last trip down, help me, I'm gonna call. Who was the free throw shooter for Hawthorne?
The last free throw set was Jacobo, and, he knocked down 1 of 2.
Gotcha, thank you. Brown misses the front end of a double bonus. They've missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 free throws so far tonight.
I mean, that's a big difference for you. It's a lot easier to battle back when the deficit is single digits. Hawthorne's making it a little bit harder on themselves tonight by not knocking down their free throws. Hopefully they can get some Gatorade at halftime and get some stamina at the line.
Wow, that shot put up and in by Maddox Daniels.
That shot is what they call wet. He knew it was going in.
A little bit too deep. So his shot hits the bottom of the rim. Let's see. Okay, they're going to have a traveling call against Beverly Hills. That was Fidel Quirarte with the travel.
Excellent idea. Excellent idea. Had he not traveled, that would have been a wide open look for Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills doing a full court press, not worried about fatigue.
And Derek Banks handling it pretty okay. They struggled a little bit a couple of nights ago with the press. And again, they continue to attack the basket. Devin Brown's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
I know that Christian Brown is their leading scorer, but Devin Brown is certainly one of their emotional leaders, clearly on the floor, being one of the most vocal guys out there for Hawthorne.
That foul looks like it should have been called on Maddox Daniels. So both the Daniels twins are on the floor now. For your reference, 13 is Mason and 11 is Maddox. And Maddox attacks the basket and scores a bucket. And as Carl said earlier, he's definitely the more offensive-minded of the two. He's got 4 threes and a couple of buckets. So that's 16 points here in the first half. Travel call against Christian Brown. You know, one of the things that I noticed from college is that Brown understands he has to be the man, but I think there are times when he probably tries to do a little bit too much to the detriment of his team.
Yeah, and you know, that's just, it's one of those blessings and a curse when you are that gifted offensively. But it's one of those things that your coach has to kind of reel you in on. So hopefully they can kind of talk about that at halftime, because he has the gifts to do it.
He's got real good handles, as we just saw. And here's yet another turnover for the Hawthorne Cougars.
I like the idea by Jacobo. You know, he's that guy. He wants to get his teammates involved. Pass just a little too hard, wrong direction, but he's thinking the right way.
Wow, that shot put up from distance by one of the Daniels twins doesn't go. Good hustle by Jacobo, gets it in the hands of Brown. Brown pushes it up, gives it over to Devin Brown. So you got Christian Brown and Devin Brown. To our knowledge, no relation. But we'll fact check that for you.
Give credit to Amir Hajuli from Beverly Hills creating that turnover. You know, he's the tallest guy on Beverly Hills' team going against the guard. I mean, that's a tough defensive assignment. He handled that very well.
And there's a travel call against Beverly Hills. So with some of their depth on the floor now, their turnovers, and that was Hajuli with the turnover. Turnover starting to pile up a little bit for them, but they've got a commanding 20-point lead at 32-12 with 3 minutes left in the first half. Wow, that foul's on number 13, Mason Daniels. At halftime, when we go check the book, I mean, there are I've just lost track of the team fouls, but there are a bunch. There are 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, at least 12, and maybe more. But, you know, that's one of the luxuries that Coach Turner has. He mentioned, he says, hey, the first thing I said, well, Coach, there's 17 guys. Is there anybody who's not here? No, they're all here.
He traveled 17.
Right.
It's not just for looks.
Exactly. Well, can you tell us, you know, who's going to play? Well, 10 for sure. Okay.
Isn't that a luxury?
Right. That's what he said. So they got 10 for sure they're going to play, and depending on how it goes, you may see the other 7.
Yeah, you know, and it's key for them because they're a team that's coming off of a championship last year. You know, even if you have younger guys, when you have games like this, go deeper in your roster. Give them a little bit of that test and battle, because you never know as the season progresses and you start getting into the playoffs, they need to have that experience. So if you have the ability to get them out there because you have a comfortable lead, don't be afraid to do it.
Right. And you're so right in terms of experience gained today is extremely valuable as the season goes along.
Right.
And what he's doing, he's picking a spot. You know, I mean, obviously the league is scouted this Hawthorne team. They know they're short in terms of the number of players, that they give great effort. But look, you know, we can just wear them down, which is what in their first 2 league games, that's what we've seen happen.
And it's early in league. It's early in league, but definitely got to set the tone. A little bit of chatting back and forth between Mason and Devin Brown.
And Jacobo gets on the board with a pair of free throws.
Devin Brown's getting down to his defensive stance early. He's committed to locking somebody up tonight. He's going to remain.
That shot put up again by
Ron Artest Jr. looking like Shaq Diesel.
Wow.
I know Ron Artest is his dad, but boy, he looked just like Shaq on that dunk.
Good follow by Christian Brown.
Great putback. Too many steps by Devin Holt.
So the margin is 18, and it's been around 18 no matter how you score it, whether it was 32-14, now it's 34-16. Cougars need just a run. Just a little 4-6 point run to close this deficit at least a bit. Whoa! Jacobo goes to the rim, draws the back of the iron, can't get it to go down. Takes a hard fall, but gets up, shaking it off now.
But again, aggressive, like he needs to be.
And they give that foul to number 2. And that's Matt Raskin.
And I don't know how many free throws they've missed, but to your point about their 18-point deficit, I'm sure they could close it if they could hit these free throws.
Well, between free throws and turnovers, I mean wow. So a lane violation called against Christian Brown for what he did was he faked as if though he was going in the lane in an attempt to get the opponent to do that, and that's definitely a violation. Under 2 minutes left here in the first half. 34-16 our score. Holt with the ball, being pressured by this Cougar defense led by Devin Brown. I like the defense, as you said, that Brown puts up. Jacobo pushing. And yet another turnover for the Hawthorne Cougars.
The Cougars did an excellent job of collapsing on Holt on that last play. You know, they didn't allow him to get too deep in the lane before somebody came in to help. You always like to see that.
And with 1:30 left, Coach Turner decides he'll take a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout here on CityTV Sports with, as we mentioned, 34-16 in favor of the Cougars, not the Cougars, we wish, but the Normans of Beverly Hills.
One of those Steve Harvey moments, Rufus.
Oh, come on.
One of those Steve Harvey moments.
All right, let's watch this replay here. I think this is going to be, and it is.
I mean, look at that.
Wow. And as they say, man, he had to rear back and get that one.
Right? That's athleticism. And he's got the pedigree. He has the pedigree to do some big things if he can just commit to improving and committing to getting in the gym. And he's got the right people around him. So, you know, being a junior, can only say sky's the limit for this kid.
Eric Chavez directing our broadcast tonight while our Tom Strickfaden is away. Shot clock with 20 seconds, so there's no need to rush. Game clock has 1:15 seconds left on it. And that shot put up and in by one of the Daniels brothers, and again, that's Maddox. Maddox is 11, and Maddox has a bunch of points.
He's so confident with his shot. He just knows it's going in.
Wow. Traveling call against Christian Brown's teammate, pushes him up the floor, Devin Brown, and says, hey, let's get ready for the next play. Wow, Artest with the putback, missed the first one, but followed his own shot. And he's got a bunch here. He's got 2, 4, 6, about 8 points himself. Jacobo just can't get it to go. Jacobo going to the rim, but not finishing.
Yeah. With Ron Artest Jr., if they can continue to get him to move without the basketball, you know, that's also a big key for him. Create some separation, lose your defender, and then go up with it because you're so big. They can't do anything once you go up. So create some separation, and it'll be hard for any team to defend Ron Artest.
19 seconds, take your time, get the last shot. I think that shot was a little bit early in the clock if you ask me. Wow, and now you got a ugly situation if you're a Cougar fan, but it's so beautiful if you are a, wow, and that shot was online, came up short, but Artest with the slam dunk to close out the scoring here in the first half and going to the locker room as you watch the replay, McCall.
Wow. He just started playing?
That's you read my mind. I'm like,
when I first started playing, I didn't look like that.
Nah,
What
this
you look
guy
like,
has
Rufus?
talent. He has talent. All right, and at the half, here at Kai Courtney Gymnasium, the Beverly Hills Normans lead by a margin of 41-16. Looks like we may be getting ready for a hit. No, we're going to go to halftime. So we'll be back in just a few moments, fans, with second half action here on CityTV Sports.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
All right, we're back here at Kai Courtney Gymnasium, and as we prepare for second half action, we've got a quick hit from Sebastian, so let's go down courtside to Sebastian Spencer.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rufus. I got a chance to talk to Coach Turner coming out of the half, and he said, I just talked to my guys about ball movement and making sure we're adjusting to the referees and making sure we get the right calls on our end. And one of the things that another thing that he talked about was we got to keep the ball moving and we got to get in our places. Back to you.
Thank you, Sebastian. And, you know, you talk about ball movement. Well, they've been doing it, and, of course, they get the ball to start the second half. They're already on the court, ready to move the ball, and Hawthorne taking their time, breaking the huddle. And sometimes the official, you know, if they say we're ready to go, they put the ball. I've done it a couple of times myself. We put the ball in play, whether you're there or not.
I guess Coach Jello's motto is better late than never.
Nice inside look put up and in that time by Amir Hersuli. We'll set the lineups in just a moment. Boy, look at Jacobo getting there and hustle for that. And it's going to be their ball because Beverly Hills had it to start the second half. So you got Jacobo on the floor. Joining Jacobo is Liaris White along with Derek Banks, Christian Brown, and Devin Brown. Give you the Beverly Hills lineup in just a moment. And they start with yet another turnover. Boy, two quick turnovers. Turnover by the Cougars, and Beverly Hills turns it right back on the illegal dribble.
Sometimes that adrenaline coming out of the locker room, you have to get it under control, get set, and then get into your plays and into your progressions.
Wow. Good drive to the basket that time by Devin Brown.
Now Devin Brown just hit the ground and flipped up, and I don't even think he used his arms. Now look at this play here. Aggressive to the rack. You've got two trees going at him. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Maddox Daniels looks surprised, but clearly put a little bit of body on him.
And is that who they gave the foul to?
They gave the foul to Amir Hajuli.
Okay.
Brown's definitely taking his time on this free throw for good reason. Gets set. You see he's making that adjustment. They're not so rushed on their free throws. Got 10 seconds.
And they failed to get back, and so scoring an easy bucket was Maddox Daniels.
Kid scores in bunches. Active hands.
That time his twin brother Mason Daniels goes up and scores the bucket.
Very active hands and good defense by the other Daniels twin.
That shot put up way short by Devin Brown.
Looks like a little soccer out here. Basketball bouncing off of heads.
Unable to convert there, so we come the other way. Boy, they're running from end to end. Again, shot put up, doesn't go, but the follow put up and in by Hersuli. So he's got 4 points on the night and 6 points here in the early going for Beverly Hills. But another foul, that foul's on 13. And boy, by my count, that's 4 on Daniel.
Definitely got him with the body. Definitely got him with the body. It's one of those situations where you just have to move your feet a little bit more. Really commit to your feet, staying spread. You won't get those calls.
Here's another Daniels. Wow, that's going to be a foul against Hawthorne. That's Derek Banks. Fast break being led that time by Maddox Daniels, and all Banks could do was put an arm on his body, and that drew the foul.
I wish you would have gone for the ball a little bit more. You never know, you might have a chance at it. You know, all these guys are pretty athletic. Always go for the ball.
And I'll tell you, again, one of the things that I know I don't like to see as an official, and I think most officials share this sentiment, I don't like to see players put their hands intentionally on airborne shooters. I mean, once a guy's left his feet, it's just like in football, a defenseless receiver.
Yeah. Very seasoned reffing bunch we have, so hopefully they can get control of that.
Two-on-one, going to the basket, unable to convert, and good defensive effort that time by the Cougars, because that was a 2-on-1. Looked like an easy bucket coming up for Beverly Hills.
Yeah, he definitely got a piece of it. He definitely got a piece of that.
Well, they got a piece of both. I mean, you know, even though they function from a height deficit, I mean, these guys literally can sky. You have a foul on the inside, and it looks like that foul may go against Christian Brown.
They might have a height deficit, Rufus, but they definitely are not struggling and lacking in heart. They are as aggressive as any team on the glass.
Well, they give the foul to Jacobo. That'll be his second of the game.
A rare miss for Holt. Now, Holt last year in the championship for the CIF hit 8 consecutive free throws to help Beverly Hills solidify that championship victory. So he knows how to knock them down.
And he gets another streak started by making the second of his 2-shot fouls, and there we have a turnover for the Cougars.
That's just reading the lane. That's just reading the lane.
Yep.
Number 10 of Beverly Hills just clearly just read that lane, saw the passer's eyes, went in for the steal.
Which tells you another turnover there in that basket put up and in by Fidel Quiralti. So turnovers really starting to get the measure of the Cougars right now.
Great job of breaking that press. Let's see if they can convert.
And so, as Brown attacks the basket, he's fouled. That foul goes against Mason Daniels. That's 5, yep. So my count is right. Mason Daniels is fouled out of contest with 4 points on the night.
that's tough. But, you know, with this kind of lead and victory, I don't think it's going to impact them too much. But, you know, you hate to see one of your top guys go down so early in the second half. They still got a whole fourth quarter of basketball to play, but give a lot of credit to this young man. Mason and Maddox transferred from Florida this year. They're fairly new to the team, fairly new to the area. They've got some great looks coming from some D1 programs, so great potential.
And I heard you mention the Davidson program, Davidson Wildcats from my hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Shout out to Charlotte.
Seth Curry, not Seth, but Steph.
Both of them, really.
Davidson
Steph,
product, yeah. And of course, their dad, longtime player for what was then the Charlotte Hornets. Then they became the Bobcats with Bob Johnson on them, and back to being the Hornets again as Christian Brown knocks down a pair.
Rufus, your hometown is producing some great talent.
Well, that started with me a long time ago, but we won't talk about that.
Rufus Washington's in the books, ladies and gentlemen, an absolute legend. Very active on the glass.
Wow. Still can't get it to go. They got, what, 4 or 5 looks at
about
it?
4 or 5 looks, couldn't convert.
Wow. That's a blocking. Yeah, that one was easy, man. I'm not quite sure what Mason had on his mind on that one. Maddox, rather. That's going to be his third foul.
You know, for a coach, when you've got that kind of size and to see 4 or 5 looks, you know, that's one of those things you almost dread as a player going into practice the next day, because you know he's going to drill you guys on that. When you've got that kind of size, you got to throw it down or have a solid layup.
Brown not able to finish at the rim. Now backcourt pressure being applied, but Denzel Hope breaks the pressure, gets it up to Daniels, and Maddox Daniels scores yet again.
He has one of the prettiest shots I've seen in a while.
He's got 23 on the night.
I believe it.
Kobo tries a little reverse shot, doesn't get it to go. Another attempt on the other end by Carlton. He can't get it to go, but they somehow never get the ball back, and Maddox Daniels scores yet again.
Aggressive defensive play by Daniels, and he's able to convert that over to a layup. You love to see that from a guy.
So Beverly Hills now will make wholesale changes. They're bringing on their small ball unit.
Now this will be interesting.
All right. The biggest guy out on the floor for him, of course, is Artest, along with number 3, Max Walder. Walder listed as 6'5". Wow. Just unable to finish around the rim. That's Cho, the freshman, with the handle. He stops and pops from 3-point range. Can't get it to go.
Amazing rebound. You got your 2 shortest players on the team in for Beverly Hills right now.
And Eric Ross, number 1, seeing his first action. That shot put up and in, though, by number 2, Matt Reskin. Kobo just lost his balance and threw the ball up to the rim.
Eric Ross of Beverly Hills definitely contributed to that play and that turnover. You love to see the guys who are shorter because they're scrappy. They don't let that size get in the way of them getting a hand in there and disrupting the play, and Eric Ross did an excellent job of that.
All right, well, 59-19. Not quite in a running clock situation yet because it doesn't start until the fourth quarter with a 40-point lead. But it looks like they've already invoked it. Now, I'm just giving you what the rule is, and the rule clearly is that of course, unless there's mutual agreement by the coaches that the running clock doesn't start until the fourth quarter with a 40-point lead.
Well, that's good to know. That's definitely good to know. Yeah, you know, Coach Jello might have decided, you know, let's keep this thing going.
Yeah, let's just get this over with.
Because at this point, you know, it's definitely out of reach, but you always want to make sure you're still teaching. This is the moment in the game where the coach still needs to teach. You can't just throw your hands up.
And making the first appearance on our broadcast season with the Cougars is number 33, Nehemiah Smith.
Get him out there. Everybody needs some reps. You never know when your name will get called.
Right.
Very aggressive play.
Whoa! There has to be a slippery spot on the floor.
Definitely a slippery spot. They need to get some kind of towel out there on the floor because that's dangerous. We want to make sure we're protecting these kids. Yeah.
And even though it's a running clock, in my opinion, and they do stop the clock because this is definitely not game action, but it's important that you get this addressed. I mean, Jacobo, and granted, Artest was sizing him up, and it was a cat and mouse game because Jacobo decided, how am I going to attack this giant?
But he still hit that wet spot, and I don't think there was much he could do about that.
Okay.
You could see his knees starting to buckle under him.
Artest out of control on that play, gets bailed out by the official, in my opinion.
Now this is interesting. We haven't seen Artest on the line tonight. I don't believe we've seen him on the line, so it'll be interesting to see how he does with his free throws. Team going out there making sure there are no wet spots on their side.
So I'm early in the first quarter. We're in a two-shot foul situation. He made one, missed one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he's had many, but
looks like that foul is on Jacobo, so that's his third according to the board.
If you're a big man and can knock down your free throws, you're doing something. The first one is up and in.
Clock will now run. Brown has it, gets a shot up. It's good if it goes. But it's low and outside.
Thought it was a pass.
Right. And apparently somebody noticed, if you notice, when he shot those free throws, the clock had stopped. So somebody must have noticed that, hey, we're actually incorrectly running the clock in the third quarter, when it should not have actually been a running clock until the fourth. All right, so let's go over to Sebastian Spencer.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rufus. Even though Beverly Hills is 10-6, you cannot just look at their record. They play some very tough teams over the beginning of the season. View Prep coming in at 14-3, one of the better teams in the Valley. Also playing Taft, one of the better schools in the city section, standing at 14-4 right now. And the best, Bishop Montgomery, 17-1. They're the second team in the state, and they're the third in the nation. So they had their share of tough losses this year, but losses to great teams. That just goes to show you how good this team is. Back to you.
And I think the point that Sebastian made is one that's well taken. I mean, Coach Turner put his guys up against the best.
Yeah.
They took their lumps, but, you know, first of all, you come back into regular season play, and then you get in your league and in your division, okay, you're ready.
Absolutely.
So,
it's that strength of the schedule, making sure that by the time league comes around, all those lumps and bumps and bruises and growing pains have been figured out.
Wow, that three put up by Cho doesn't go. Artest attempted to follow. He couldn't get it. And finally slashing to the basket, Christian Brown.
Excellent move and a way to create space by Ron Artest Jr. He's not just athletic and going up and getting alley-oops. The guy can create his own shot off the dribble. You love to see that.
That shot blocked by the Normans. Come back the other way again. Continues to be Artest and the band of little guys. He doesn't mind taking the shot from outside. Now you're definitely going to see Brown attack the basket. Can't get it to go, but he's going to go to the line as he was fouled by Reston on the play.
Looked like Ron Artest Jr. almost hit his head on the rim going up for that. Yeah, clearly got him on the arm.
Wow,
You got to give Christian Brown a lot of credit because he has remained consistent and he bought into the coach's plan tonight of being aggressive and attacking the middle. He's been doing that all game.
Okay, now we really are starting to see those 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 guys.
And the height advantage visually is clearly gone from the floor now. I'm looking at an evenly matched team when it comes to height.
Okay, with the turnover, that was number 5, Dave Koshke.
Coach Turner's probably taking the position. He's got to rest his guys at this point. You don't want to risk an injury. And again, you got to make sure that some of your guys that are a little bit deeper on your roster are getting those reps.
Right. So they've got Eric Ross on the floor. They've got Dave Koshke. Number 22 is Sam Cohen. 5 put the shot up, doesn't get it to go. But Sean Maharai, who's a sophomore, he's 6'3", looks like he's on the football team. Call him for blocking. He's going to say if I'm there in position. You know, I've looked over at Coach Turner several times. None of this has changed. I mean, he hasn't questioned one call. I don't know whether that's a luxury of having depth. But you go, okay. Even when a star guy gets one, I've got 16 other guys I can put in.
Yeah. He never seems stressed about the call.
Cobo can't get the shot to go. Now we're going to have another foul call. That last foul was on 23. If there is a 23, Matt Lavi. Yeah, there is a 23 out there. Well, that's one way of getting in the books because you're an athlete. You want to see your name, you know, in the box score.
Yeah,
and hey, if I don't get a shot, I'm at least foul somebody. So when my mom and dad look up there, they're gonna see my name that I was in the game.
Get on the stat line.
There you go.
Coach always said, you have a foul, you always got at least one foul to give.
Right.
That'll get your names in the books. And for a lot of these guys, you know, some of them might not go on to play college basketball. So, you know, these are the moments where they really just need to live in the moment and just take advantage of being out there and being a high school athlete because these are some of the greatest days of their lives.
And sometimes you get to say, I played with that guy.
Right.
You know, that whether that guy's a Westbrook or a Chance Comanche who's at, well, Westbrook, of course, was at Losing, but I'm just using it as an example.
Absolutely.
Of guys who make it to the next level, and other guys go on with their life and lead many other different kinds of successful careers.
Absolutely. But you'll always remember that game when that started. It's in the NBA. You played with him.
Right.
You threw him that alley-oop, by the way.
Exactly. Laris White hits a pair of free throws.
Very crafty move by David Koshke.
That shot put up doesn't go. It's going to be a turnover against Beverly Hills. Coming on the floor now is number 12. That's Dylan Rutigliano. Wonder if he's any kin to Sam Rutigliano. You got to be a real sports fan to know who Sam Rutigliano is. We'll save that for a later discussion.
He's on my list of Googles tonight.
All right.
Excellent trapping and press by Hawthorne. Just because you're down doesn't mean you're completely out. You can still be aggressive.
Absolutely. We got 2:40 left. The score is 66-28. Clock running continuously. Now we got a timeout being taken, a 30-second timeout.
I would like to see both coaches take advantage of this point in the game. I mean, the game is pretty much over and done with, right? But these are the times when you need to kind of test your guys and see if they're responding to your play calls.
Right.
You know, drawing up plays and being a little bit creative and seeing if they're really responding to what you're drawing up. These are the times to kind of test that out and see where their focus is at. I'd hope that both coaches took advantage of, you know, in placing in some plays and defensive scheme.
Well, one thing just what you're talking about, you see Beverly Hills still hustling. You see an attack of the basket there. Christian Brown tried to slam dunk. Well, they're coming with pressure. Wow, good block from behind. So just what you asked for, they're still playing.
Yeah,
they're still
absolutely
playing.
Now, David Koshke, I've had a chance to see a few of his plays now. He's fast. He's fast.
That shot put up won't go, but once again, they control the boards. Underneath, another shot won't go.
The reverse layup hasn't been friendly to anybody tonight from the looks of it. I don't think I've seen a reverse fall yet. So it's not just the Cougars. Beverly Hills is struggling with their reverse layups as well.
That's something that both teams will work on in practice.
Yeah, that's an off-season priority. Getting comfortable with that reverse.
Timeout taken, and during the timeout, looks like we may have Karen Bright in a moment trying to see if we can get her. Are we ready? Still getting ready. All right, hey, looks to me like, are we ready to go over to Karen? Okay, let's go over to Karen Bright.
Guys, noticeably absent tonight for the Cougars is Darius Gibbons. He's sitting out tonight. I talked to Coach Jello. He said it's something to do with transfer papers and the CIF. So they're hoping to get it straightened out so we can be back on the court for the next game. Back to you.
Okay, and we wondered about that early. Gibbons, number 2, get defended. Ball goes in, so score the basket for Christian Brown.
Give credit to the pass. Give credit to the take by Brown.
Foul's going to be against number 5. That's Koski. Brown with the chance for three-point play, as they say the old-fashioned way, and it comes up short on the attempt.
I'm not sure if it would have made a huge difference tonight, but the misses on the free throw line still are hard to swallow for any coach.
Well, the misses and the turnovers. I mean, you know, we stopped counting and we had a bushel. We've had at least, and this is a conservative estimate because I stopped counting at 12, so I know at least 15 or so.
When I was in college, our coach said if we had more than 10 turnovers, we were running like crazy the next practice. 10 turnovers max.
Well, these two games that Coach Gray's team have played have been against, admittedly, the tougher part of the schedule. And once again, going to the line will be Christian Brown.
Now, Beverly Hills has an upward hill to climb because they're third in league right now. but it's early in the league, so I think it'll get really interesting as we get on in the season.
And with that, that's our final. Let's see. Question is Brown going to get to shoot his free throws? I mean, even though they're inconsequential, they're arguing that he should. The officials say, hey, you know what? It's only another minute of work, so let's go ahead and let the kid shoot him. Avenue is blocked. It's a two-shot foul. He hits the first.
For a kid like Brown, knowing the kind of competitor that he is, it doesn't matter if it's the end of the game and they've lost. He still wants his opportunity.
So he makes one, misses one. You'd think that you know, in professional sports where you got contract incentives,
right?
You'd think there was some type of contract incentive.
You never
on
know.
the line there. And man, I need this free throw. I mean, this will put another $100,000 in my pocket.
Hey, but you know, it's high school basketball, so his mom might have promised him a Subway sandwich or something after the game if he gets X amount of points.
There you go.
You never know what's on the line.
So we'll call a game. Boy, the Normans of Beverly Hills doubled up on the Cougars. The final 66-31, as you can see there. Your assessment, though, sitting courtside here, of what you saw tonight from both teams.
Well, first of all, I'm extremely impressed by Maddox Daniels. You know, there was a lot of hype coming into the game about Maddox Daniels and his twin brother, excuse me, let me find his name again. Mason, thank you so much.
It took me the whole game, so I'm not trying to show off. Trust me, I just figured it out.
Absolutely not, absolutely not. But, you know, I'm very impressed by him. You know, he's consistently good with his jump shot, and you have to love that. Now, from the Cougars, I respect the fact that they stayed aggressive all night. From tip-off, they took it inside. You know, the big thing was they couldn't convert on the free throw line, and then those turnovers, it's just hard to battle back. But I give a lot of credit to Beverly Hills in the fact that they were able to really hone in with that height and get their guys involved and really take advantage of that.
Okay, and I need to get a message out to the truck. If the truck is listening, would you please make sure that Jose takes care of his obligations before he leaves the premises? Okay? All right, let's go over to Karen Bright.
Coach, it was a tough game, but you have to be proud of your guys pressing till the end, just playing all out. How do you feel about this game?
We was outmatched, we outsized, outmatched, but my whole objective is to keep my guys trying to get them to compete. I feel we had to start all over by losing those 6 guys. So I'm just trying to get them back to where we were. Because at first, before I lost those guys, we didn't never run zone. We played full court man-to-man. So I got to build these guys back up. They're a younger team. I only have one senior on this team.
Now I have to ask you, how does it feel when you see, you know, a timeout or something and you see the other team replace their entire squad on the floor and your guys are still out there? How does that feel for you?
It kind of hurt because I'm down. It kind of hurts. So, but like I said, we got to keep competing and try to keep a game out of it.
And I guess, how do you keep your guys' spirits up? They don't have a negative vibe when they're playing. They're really positive. How do you keep them like that?
It's just teaching. I'm just trying to teach them how to compete, trying to make them mentally tough. It's just about being mentally tough. And that's what we instill. We go hard all the time and try to make them tough, get in shape. I would just get in shape and compete.
Well, they're definitely in shape. They have a lot of fitness, and congratulations on a great effort tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
All right, and thanks to Coach Gray for being so gracious with the interview with Karen. But as he said, you know, she asked some very good questions in terms of how you keep their spirit up. Yeah. This is 2 blowout losses back-to-back, Wednesday night and then tonight. And, of course, they play again on Monday. Monday is Martin Luther King Day, and there are tournaments all over the Southland, all over the place. And everybody, I was looking at the schedule, everybody's playing on Monday. So in 3 days, they got to be ready to get right back out there. And that is a challenge.
It is a challenge, especially when you're short when it comes to your roster. So your guys are playing big minutes because they have to. So now as a coach, you got to go into your next practice, maybe not go so hard on the fitness side of it and with the reps, but maybe just sit down and look at video and kind of assess what we need to make adjustments in and kind of test their mental side as well, because their bodies are going to be battled and definitely hurt tonight.
You know, and one of the things that he said was, and We noticed this in the prior game, and that was they played a lot of zone against Santa Monica, but Santa Monica had even more height than does Beverly Hills. And tonight, as he said, we played man-to-man all night. That also wears your guys down.
That does wear. That definitely wears you down.
And it comes back to bite you on the offensive end. I mean, you can go out there and play great, tenacious, and as you were saying, getting down in your defensive position, but you pay a price on the other end of the court. And that's something, again, the players, folks, we've been talking about it, and I know you're used to it. By now you may be tired of it, but when you only got 7 players, these are the consequences.
Definitely the consequences. But on the flip side, what can you do? There's really no getting around it. You know, if he doesn't play man-to-man, when you've got that kind of size, you're looking to get blown out. I mean, even more so than what happened tonight. So, unfortunately, there's really no alternative for that. You just hope that as they go into these next couple of days, they can rest and recover and be ready for a fun Monday of basketball.
All right. And as you said, they're going to keep fighting. But I tell you what, I don't see anybody yet with the interview, so let's take a break here on CityTV Sports. Let's get some stats together and, of course, get ready to announce our player of the game and the Tip of the Hat Award winner. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship UConn Huskies basketball team, and you're losing your Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow-away jumper, good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
All right, we're back, fans, here on CityTV Sports at Hawthorne High School, and we have Coach Jarvis Turner of the victorious Beverly Hills Normans, and he's with Sebastian.
Thanks a lot, guys. I'm here with Coach Jarvis Turner for Beverly Hills. Coach, first off, congrats on an impressive win tonight.
Thank you.
What did you think was the key going into this game?
You know what? We're just trying to get better, man. We wanted our guys to come out and play with extreme effort and energy, and I thought that we started the game off that way. We just didn't play as intelligent as we would like to have started. But I think overall I'm happy with our guys' performance tonight.
Definitely. You talk about the Daniels brothers, 2 guys that you expect a lot of, and just talk about their play tonight and how they play so well together.
You know what? They're twins, so they have a twin instinct type of deal going on, So, Maddox made shots tonight, and, that's what we expect him to do. Mason played well. He played hard. Made some mistakes, kind of had some careless turnovers that we weren't too pleased with, but overall they played a solid game, and we need those guys to be good for us for our team to reach its goals.
And you guys are a little bit bigger inside than Hawthorne, and you just talked about Maddox right now, but another player, everybody's talking about his athleticism, and you talked about it before the game, is Ron Artest III, and at times looked like the best player in the game. What do you think he has to do going forward to maximize his potential?
Right, Ron just has to continue to work. The kid is extremely athletic, probably one of the better athletes that I've coached in my coaching career. It's just a little raw, needs to just continue to work hard and let his game develop and, just do the right things, come to practice with the proper mindset, wanting to get better, and, the sky's the limit for that kid. He's extremely talented.
And again, you guys are the defending league champions as well for the Ocean League. With this team, you feel like you guys can do that again?
I definitely do, man. I mean, we got a good group, but the league is also tough. You got Lawndale, who's tough, Santa Monica, who's also a good basketball team. So, our league is not a cakewalk. So we just got to try to continue to get better on a daily basis. And, we take the games as they come.
Coach, good luck to you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, the very gracious Jarvis Turner, head coach of the Beverly Hills Normans, and he was breaking down his team and talking about the multitude of talent that he has, but also acknowledging that they're a work in progress.
Yeah. He's definitely blessed with talent. He talked about the Daniels twins tonight, and Maddox having a great game. You know, I think he had, 25 points, but you're looking at Mason Daniels, who only had 8 and he fouled out. You know, before the game when we talked to him, he said because of the transfers, it's kind of hard to get everybody in the rhythm and get that chemistry going. I didn't get the sense that Mason Daniels had that comfort level tonight on the floor. He was making some mistakes, he just couldn't get in that rhythm. So that was definitely tough to watch for Mason. But, you know, it's early in the league, a lot of improvement. He's clearly talented. They've just got to find that rhythm when it comes to having Artest on the floor and the Daniels twins. If they can get that trio together, it's going to be beautiful.
And to think that they told us that Ron Artest III was was also a work in progress and rough around the edges. Guy had 15 points tonight, showed me a lot of talent.
And you know, I'm impressed because he had 15 points, versatile, diverse points. You know, we saw the dunks. He clearly can dunk. He takes after his dad, a guy out of Queens, you know, the mecca of basketball. So he's got basketball deep in his veins. He knows how to hop out the gym. But on a couple of plays, he created his own shot. He worked the ball and he created his own shot. I'm impressed by that. So they sold me a totally different story because what I saw is not as raw as I was expecting out of Ron Artest.
Exactly. And that's one of those matchups somewhere down the road, man, that's worth paying to go see. And that's going to be Santa Monica and Beverly Hills.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a heck of a game.
Absolutely.
Real quickly for you fans, as we move along, the scoring leader for Beverly Hills was Mason Daniels. He had 25. Ron Artest III had 15. Let's see, who just had 8? Was it Mason Daniels?
So Maddox Daniels had 25 and Mason had 8.
And Mason had 8, and a bunch of other guys chipped in as well because trust me, they got to 66. And we saw every one of them. On the other side of the table, for the Hawthorne Cougars, once again, Christian Brown, the senior, leading the way. He had 17. Laeris White had 4 points on the night. Carlos Jacobo had 3. He took a lot of shots, and that was by design. If you're watching, go, man, why is this guy shooting? Because you heard me mention that he was reluctant to shoot, and clearly Coach Gray had given him the green light.
And he gave him that green light early.
Exactly.
He gave him that green light in the first quarter. He said, I need you to get in there and kind of help Brown out because they know that Christian Brown is going to take a lot of shots, and they know that he's going to be aggressive. But tonight, as you saw, Christian Brown might drive in, create that attention, and then kick it out to Jacobo. And Jacobo is being aggressive as well. So even though they fell short, I'm impressed by the fact that they bought into Coach's system. Okay, well, let's go ahead and hand out the awards. And I'm going to ask you first with regard to the player of the game. Well, I'll have to give it to Christian Brown. From the beginning, like I said, first play of the game, he's taking it inside. He's not afraid of the height that he lacks. He didn't let up. Of course, when you're scoring, it's easy to give him the player of the game, but I also need to give credit again to Jacobo because for all the moments where Brown got open, he was able to get those shots. It came off of Jacobo being defensively aggressive and creating those turnovers and creating those opportunities for Brown to get those points in transition. So a lot of credit to Christian Brown. 17 points tonight, most of them in the paint. I don't think I saw him take a jump shot. So great game by Christian Brown. All right, so number 10 for the Hawthorne Cougars, Christian Brown is our player of the game. And now for the Tip of the Hat award. Such a beautiful hat. Oh, you're too kind. Such a beautiful hat. And I got to tell you, the question really is, what can Brown do for you? Because in my opinion, the Tip of the Head award tonight goes to number 3, Devin Brown, the guard. I mean, he got out there. He was a water bug. He was a defensive presence for him. Did a lot of ball handling, but most importantly, I mean, he did whatever he felt he had to do to try to help his team win, but particularly on the defensive end, his effort, as Coach said, they were man-to-man the whole game. Absolutely. And there was no let-up. And most of his guys are playing almost the whole 32 because they've only got 2 guys over there. Exactly. So somebody's got to play the whole game. Yeah. All right. And he's one of those guys. So Devin Brown, this Tip of the Hat award is for you tonight. Great effort. Very deserving. So, fans, there you have it. Once again, our final here at Kai Courtney Gymnasium. The Normans of Beverly Hills in this Ocean League matchup. They go up now 2-0 in league play. Hawthorne Cougars on the short end with 31 points. They'll fall to 0-2 in league play. But
It's still early. Anything can happen. And the thing about it, if you're a Hawthorne fan, here's where your optimism comes in, because you've played 2 of the 3 toughest teams.
Right.
That other team is Lawndale, of course, but that's a local rival, so that's a lot of emotion.
Anything
so that's a
can happen
50-50 ball game. But in this regard, they've played the 2 toughest already, so they're out the way, and they've got a chance against the bottom half of the league to maybe pick up some wins.
Absolutely, and that's a great point. When it comes down to it, if you've played the toughest early, again, those growing pains, those lumps, bumps, and bruises, those things have gotten figured out. Hopefully they can get some really solid wins towards the end of the season and make their season a little bit more convincing and maybe even get a playoff berth.
All right. Well, McCall, it's really been a pleasure. Thank you for sitting in for our partner, Lou Stowers, who's away on assignment tonight. But you've done a great job, and I've much more enjoyed looking to my left at you than at him. So.
Well, I appreciate it. If I don't have a hat on, and I don't own a hat as amazing as yours, but if I could salute you, thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you, and Happy New Year to you as well, and to all of you folks. And that'll wrap it up for tonight here at Hawthorne High. All right, a final one more time. Beverly Hills 66, Hawthorne 31. We'll see you the next time on a City TV sports presentation. Good night.